Students, this is the help video for the Unit 7 Take-Home Practice Quiz, Section 7.1 to 7.3. You're going to be doing Alex on your own. You get 5 cycles to get 100%. Make sure you click on Report each time of your cycle and take notes with a red pen, showing your connections in red pen. You're going to be working through the following problems in pencil. Show your work in detail. All computations, all algebra in pencil. The starred problems we're going to talk about. Then pull up the answers and correct in red pen. For each of these, you're going to notice a little icon of that part of your reference booklet that talks about each of the angles. For example, this is a central angle example. So you're going to be using that top section. Measure of a central angle to its arc the same. And then as you do this one, you're going to be here in this section. And these are the tan chords, and inscribes are the ones that you use Post-it notes. Anything that you can have on, use a Post-it note for. This is the first one we're going to do an example with. Step 1, I'd like you to darken all the ons. Darken all the ons. You want to go through and don't just find all what you're being asked. So in this diagram, do not just find that angle. You want to find all possible arcs and angles. So start by sweeping here what you have. Get your Post-it notes. I'd like you to frame angle Z. Frame angle Z. There's your Post-it notes. Frame angle Z. Now sweep angle Z and sweep the arc it's grabbing. I think you see what you need to do. Go ahead and solve for the unknown, but also keep one more thing in mind. Inscribed quads. When you have an inscribed quad, opposite angles of an inscribed quad always add up to 180. Find everything you can find. Pause the video, do this problem, and then restart. Okay, for this one, right here, I suggest you first start by just simply tracing the angle. Simply tracing the angle. And identify what kind of angle is this. We have ourselves a tangent and a chord. A tan chord angle is the same as the one inscribed. So right here, sweep this angle. Actually, let's frame that angle first. Let's frame at angle S. So take your Post-its. Frame at angle S. Sweep the angle. Sweep the arc it's grabbing. We know that the angle equals that arc over 2. So in this case, we're given that the angle is 6x plus 10 equals that blue arc, which we don't know, over 2. So I want that arc. Obviously, you multiply by 2. That blue arc is now going to be 12x plus 20. Go ahead and remove the Post-its. Now, I want you to sweep this other arc that has algebra, sweep that arc. Go back, sweep the blue arc. Go back, sweep this arc. I think you see how to solve for x. Once you solve for x here, plug it in and then find all possible arcs and angles. Find all possible arcs and angles. Taking a look at this one, this is an on. So once again, anytime you have an on, that's what you're going to frame. So get your Post-it notes. Let's frame that on. Your Post-it note goes here and here. Let's sweep the angle and then sweep the arc it's grabbing. Sweep the angle, sweep the arc. We know that that angle equals the arc over 2. My angle is 7x plus 14 equals my unknown arc over 2. I think you see to get that arc, it is simply going to equal 2 times 7x plus 14. So this arc over here, the entire red arc, is going to be 14x plus 28. Remove your Post-its. Now go ahead and sweep again this arc from W to F. Sweep again. Now sweep F to V, the arc. Now sweep V to W. I think you see how to finish this problem. Pause the video, finish, and then restart. On this page, you see that you've shifted now. Now we're dealing with chord chords. Let's go right there. Taking a look at this problem. Let's write our equation out for a chord chord. First, just physically trace the angle. That's a chord. That's a chord. Double check, that is not a central angle. So we can find that, let's write the equation out, angle equals arc plus arc over 2. From here, you just circle, plug, chug very carefully. Angle, angle, equals 1 arc plus the other arc over 2. Finish it up and then find every possible arc and angle. Every possible arc and angle. Okay, the next couple pages, notice it's shifted again. We're going to be working with these three where the vertex is out. It's out. It's going to be angle equals big arc minus little arc over 2. So we're going to circle, plug, chug. Our angles right there, that is going to be 11x minus 5 equals big arc. I'm going to physically trace it from here to here. 35x. Now watch out. Here's the tricky part. That's minus parentheses. This entire arc is 14x plus 5. Make sure you get that parentheses. You'll see why in just a second. Over 2. That parentheses, we're subtracting that entire arc, which is that whole expression. Technically, there's a 1 there. I'd like you to distribute very carefully. So you can see our next line is going to be 11x minus 5 equals 35x. Now watch, that negative sign goes here. 14x, that negative sign also goes there. Minus 5. So you're subtracting that entire arc. As you subtract that arc, you have to watch out that you're subtracting the entire expression. Solve for x, find all possible arcs and angles. All right, this one's also out. So we write our equation, angle equals big arc minus little arc over 2. Let's circle, plug, chug. Our angle is going to be 8x plus 8 equals I'm going to move this down just a bit for extra space here. So we have here 8x plus 8. Our big arc is going to be 26x plus 26 minus and parentheses 13x minus 17, which is that right there. Let's get kind of close here. Again, you have to distribute that negative sign. So the next line should read, over 2. Don't forget that over 2. The next line is going to read 8x plus 8 equals 26x plus 26 minus 13x. Watch out, double negative makes a positive here, plus 17 over 2. Cross multiply, solve for x, find all possible arcs and angles. All right, finger track and read out loud. Find all possible angles and arcs. Mark your answers on the diagram. Show all your computations below. We're going to mark these 2 dots on the diagram. First, in circle O, EC is a diameter. So the first thing you want to do is E to C is a diameter. So we're going to trace, stretch, sweep that 180, going one way, trace, stretch, sweep the 180 going the other way. Next, we're told that the arc F to C is 80. So the arc F to C is 80 degrees. Next, we're told that the arc B to G is 5 times greater than E to G. C to G is 5 times greater than E to G. Knowing that, find all possible arcs and angles. First thing I want you to do is darken all the ons. Wherever you see an on, that's where you're going to frame with the Post-it note. Start with working the 180s. You'll understand if you physically trace them very slowly, you'll see everything you can find with the 180. Start by working the 180s, then start framing everything that has an on. Frame the ons, which are the inscribed angles and tan chords. Find everything possible, then start working your out. But start with the diameters, then work the ons, then work the outs.